What happens when Ukraine turns a $500 drone into a weapon capable of destroying $500 million in Russian ammunition? On August 16, 2025, Russia's southern front found out fast. In a perfectly calculated strike, Ukraine obliterated 2 million pounds of ammunition and eliminated 6 elite Russian infantry soldiers in just 94 seconds, shattering Moscow's operational plans days before a critical international peace summit. This is the full story of how precision, intelligence, and ingenuity combined to produce one of the most consequential operations of the war. At 4 o'clock a.m. local time, the Southern Front awoke to a nightmare. In less than 2 minutes, a strategic ammunition reserve valued at nearly $500 million vanished in a massive explosion. Alongside it, 6 elite troops assigned to secure the site were wiped out instantly. The target was the Malipole depot, a strategic logistics hub at the core of Russia's southern war effort. Moscow was amassing ammunition for a major offensive, timed just days before a high-stakes two-nation peace summit. Losing Malipole meant losing the operational edge, effectively stripping thousands of Russian troops of their firepower at a decisive moment. Confident in its security, Russia had transformed the depot into a fortress. Layers of air defenses surrounded the site. The Pantsir S-1, a multi-million-dollar system, provided surface-to-air coverage, while rapid-firing Zu-232 anti-aircraft guns created overlapping defensive rings. Electronic warfare protection came from the Boris Gleb-2, specifically designed to detect and jam UAVs. Every conceivable safeguard was in place. Moscow believed the depot was untouchable. The operation began with deep reconnaissance. Maxar's satellite imagery delivered detailed overhead intelligence, while a Lelika 100 reconnaissance drone loitered at 6,500 feet, mapping electronic signals across a 60-mile radius. On the ground, local partisans tracked vehicle movements and confirmed both the 2 million pound payload and its role in the planned offensive. Once the target was verified, Ukraine launched a calculated misdirection campaign. Fake radio traffic suggested a large-scale Ukrainian assault near Kherson, roughly 100 miles west. Moscow reacted, predictably redeploying elite units, including 6 naval infantry soldiers and the Akhmat Vostok UAV team, directly into Malipole, believing the depot to be secure. An initial cyber attempt to access Russian CCTV feeds failed when defenses detected the intrusion. Ukraine immediately shifted to Plan B, using a Starlink uplink to transmit real-time coordinates from partisan observers stationed just 2 miles from the depot. Then the strike began. The Rebuff drone launched carrying a 10-pound warhead, trailing a 6-meter fiber optic cable to maintain a secure, jam-proof control link. A sudden 20 mph crosswind forced operators in Kyiv to recalibrate the II guidance system mid-flight. The drone has 4 rotors executed thousands of micro-adjustments per second as the pilot manually countered lateral drift to stay on course. For over 3,000 seconds, the mission depended on flawless synchronization between human control, artificial intelligence, and hostile environmental conditions. Phase 2 was deception. Ukraine deployed 5 $200 decoy drones near the depot, broadcasting signatures that mimicked a large swarm attack. Control was regained. Despite heavy interference and hostile conditions, the operator re-established a hard lock on the target truck. The final moments were now inevitable. As the Russian patrol closed to within 500 feet and the fiber optic cable stretched to its limit, the operator committed to the final run. The drone accelerated to 37 miles per hour, skimming the edge of a ruined building to stay concealed. Partisan observers confirmed the moment Ukraine had been waiting for. All nearby Russian units were still fixated on the decoys. The depot and the target truck were completely exposed. The final sequence unfolded exactly as planned. What followed was instantaneous. A concentrated thermal and kinetic release generated a 5,000 psi shockwave, paired with a 30,000 degree Fahrenheit thermal pulse that vaporized everything at the epicenter. The truck, its occupants, and the immediate structure ceased to exist, leaving behind a crater more than 100 feet deep. Secondary explosions rippled outward for over 3 minutes as Grad rockets cooked off inside their crates, tearing through the surrounding industrial zone. When Russian emergency units finally arrived, there was nothing left to save. The depot intended to anchor a preemptive Russian offensive had been completely neutralized before a single shot could be fired. Strategically, the strike crippled Moscow's supply chain for more than 10,000 troops, severing the critical logistics corridor between Crimea and Zaporizhia. Financially, the math was staggering. A $500 drone had eliminated a $500 million asset, a 1 million to 1 return on investment. The explosion erased 3 weeks of ammunition stockpile for an imminent offensive, forcing Russia to rewrite operational plans overnight and handing Ukraine a decisive tactical and psychological advantage. Beyond the destruction, the operation revealed deeper lessons. Its success rested on the seamless integration of human intelligence from local partisans, commercial satellite imagery, long-endurance drone reconnaissance, electronic warfare deception, and AI-assisted UAV control. A flexible contingency strategy allowed Ukrainian operators to adapt in real time, overcoming some of the most sophisticated physical and electronic defenses on the battlefield. From initial intelligence gathering to final detonation, every phase was executed with redundancy, adaptability, and precision. For military analysts, the Malipole strike stands as a case study in modern precision warfare. It demonstrates how low-cost, high-impact systems, when paired with real-time human oversight, are reshaping the calculus of battlefield effectiveness. Even heavily fortified, multi-layered defense installations can be compromised through integrated intelligence, electronic misdirection, and innovative UAV deployment. Operationally, the attack also highlights the power of misdirection and perception management. By simulating a large-scale offensive elsewhere, Ukraine drew elite Russian units directly into a trap, proving the effectiveness of coordinated electronic and physical deception in shaping enemy behavior. The simultaneous management of weather, AI guidance, electronic warfare, and human control reflects a level of operational sophistication that is rapidly defining modern conflict. In the end, the Malipole strike of August 16, 2025 stands as a textbook example of how a smaller, agile, and highly informed force can impose disproportionate effects on a conventionally stronger opponent. The operation halted a planned Russian offensive, degraded Southern Front logistics, eliminated elite personnel and UAV assets, and delivered a staggering return on technological and operational investment. This was not luck. This was not improvisation. It was a calculated, meticulously executed operation and a clear signal of how high-precision warfare is evolving.